The biggest thing that I want to impart with young people is to never see a ceiling. When you look up, the only thing you should see is the stars. My name is Ronnie Sidney. I'm an author. I own a business called Creative Medicine Healing Through Words, and we're in Richmond, Virginia. Nelson was off to a rocky start at Bland Middle School. Mrs. Gronkowski said, "I can't read this chicken scratch." Nelson mumbles,
"Maybe you need to learn how to read then."
This is my first book. The first book that I've ever written is called Nelson Beats the Odds. How can I share my story with other people? And then I thought, write a book. But I didn't know how to write a book. So I had to Google how to write a book. Literally, I was typing in how to write a book. While Mrs. Gronkowski stood at the board teaching, Nelson's mind wandered outside of the school walls into La La Land. As an author, my job is to write books, and I work with a wonderful illustrator named Tracy Van Wagner. I start writing scripts. I send my scripts to Tracy. Tracy does her magic and incorporates the images into the text. Within 5 to 6 months, I have a graphic novel. Nelson sneaked to his special education class like a ninja. When I wrote my first book, it was so easy to write it because I wrote it about myself. Nelson Beats the Odds is about a student with a learning disability who's trying to fight the stigma. I was diagnosed with dysgraphia, which is a disability that impacts handwriting and the way that you formulate letters, and also ADHD, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. But as an adult, it has really inspired me to be more creative. When I was able to control it and harness it, I felt certain energy. So I found it being almost like a superpower. I have a bachelor's degree in human services from Old Dominion University. I graduated from Virginia Commonwealth University with my master's of social work degree. I've been a licensed clinical social worker for 2 years now. While Nelson was on his way to a special education class, his friend Carlos asked, "Hey Nelson, where are you going?" Nelson says,
"I'm going to the bathroom."
He didn't want anyone to know that he was in special education because they would tease him. I try to deal with topics that are relevant: social justice issues, trauma, bullying, parental substance abuse, a lot of issues that the kids that I've served over the years have experienced, and kind of giving them a different lens to look at a problem.
The time I beat the odds is when I passed my math test in 1st grade.
Good job! To become an author, technically, you really don't need any education. I've met authors as young as 6 years old. I met teenage authors who were bestsellers. I realized the most important thing is actually doing it. Writing your story doesn't require any education. The most important skill is learning how to network and find people who can do some of the things that you can't do. For those who want to become writers, I would definitely encourage you to pay attention in your English classes right now. When you get into college, take creative writing, take literature, take English composition, hone your craft and hone your skills to become better at what you do.
If you can believe it, you can achieve it.
Good job. Mrs. T was there for Nelson at a time when he felt really small and needed someone to help make him feel really big. And I want you all to say, you can do it.
You can do it.
I love to speak and I love to share. With writing, it gives me a great place to take that energy. When I'm able to focus, almost hyper-focus, great things happen.
Let's beat the odds. Woo!